Today, we're gonna be making your classic barbecue pork belly burnt ends. What I have here is a full pork belly. It's about an 11-pound humongous pork belly that I've sliced up into these strips here. You can see they're in 1-inch strips. Now, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna cube these up, we're gonna put some rub on it, we're gonna put it out in our pellet grill for about 2.5 to 3 hours to get that fat rendered down, to get it broken down a little bit. Then we're gonna put some awesome sauce on it and we're gonna tack that up and it'll be ready to eat. So let's get started. This pork belly comes in one giant slab of meat and we already sliced it into these 1¼ inch strips. I'm just gonna cube it out here. You want them pretty big. And you can see I still have the fat on there, but the skin has been removed. There's no skin on there. It's just fat. And we want to keep that fat on there. That's flavor that's going to render out. For now, I'm putting them fat side down because we're going to apply the rub on the rack and they're going to end up fat side up like that. And you can see these are just giant
cubes of bacon.
That's what we're dealing with here. This pork belly is what bacon is made out of. They'll cure it, they'll put a little smoke on it, usually hickory or apple, something like that, a nice wood that goes with pork, and they'll cure it so that it stays a bit longer, and that's your bacon. They'll slice it nice and thin. This way is the same cut of meat, but we're just cooking it a different way, and it's gonna be killer. You just want them about square. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you don't want it to get too crazy either. And we're just gonna keep cubing this up and putting it on our rack, and when we come back, we're gonna apply some rub to it. So as you can see, we have our 11 pounds of pork belly cubed up, and man, this pork belly looks amazing. Now you can see right now I have it fat side down because we're gonna be applying the rub. When I go to put this on the smoker on this rack, I'm gonna have it fat side up. So right now, because I have it down, I can just go ahead and pour this over. Actually, hold that thought. Okay, so now that we have these fat side down, we can get the rub on the back. Something I'm gonna do is apply a little canola oil. Easiest way that I've found to do this is with spray can. You can put any type of oil on here. I like to go with a higher flash point oil so that it doesn't burn up. Canola is perfect for this. Any type of vegetable oil, or you can even use olive oil. You can use avocado oil. It's really good to use any of those. And this is just a little binding agent, and the secondary effect of it is it will help us crisp up this pork. So now I'm applying some of this Holy Gospel rub by Meat Church, and I'm just putting a nice layer on here. We're going to be putting 2 rubs on here. One is this Holy Gospel.
Sweet Jesus.
And the other one's going to be the Honey Hog Barbecue, just for a little sweetness in there. This Holy Gospel has all kinds of cool spices, but it's not particularly sweet. It's a real barbecue-y flavor. So we're getting our barbecue flavor and our sweetness in the rub. And you can see I'm putting it on pretty generously. I want to cover all the sides of this. So I'm going to be flipping these and doing this to each side, making sure that all of these cubes are covered in both that Holy Gospel and the Honey Hog Barbecue with that spray underneath. So I'm going to go ahead and coat all these down. When we come back, all of these are going to be sitting and just absorbing all of that rub and getting it incorporated into the meat. All right, so we got all of these sprayed. We got the rub on them. We put both the Meat Church Holy Gospel as well as that Honey Hog Barbecue.
For that sweetness.
It's gonna be awesome. As you can see, these are already starting to tack up a little bit. There's some permeation into the meat. It's starting to sweat out a little. We're gonna go get them on the grill. I've already got it fired up to 275 degrees. We're gonna be running Bear Mountain hickory pellets out on the Grilla Grills Silverbac. So it's already fired up. Let's go get these out there. All right, so as you can see, these are all nice and shiny. That rub is sinking in there. We're getting it on the grill. Now I have this awesome jerky rack, but it's perfect for stuff like this too. I'm gonna go ahead and slide it right in there. So it's perfect right on there. We're gonna close it down. We're gonna come out and we're gonna spritz this in about an hour and take a look at how it looks. We've come out every hour or an hour ago and we spritzed it. And I'm using a Crawford's Apple Spritz. It's a pit Spritz by Crawford's. Trying it for the first time. I also mixed in a little apple cider vinegar with it. And I'm just getting all these nice and coated down. And you can see they are looking absolutely awesome. They're really getting that nice mahogany color. They have that nice little bark that's starting on some of them. We're gonna give this about 20 to 30 minutes and we're gonna come out and check probe tenderness to make sure these are getting nice and tender. We're almost ready to sauce these up. So we're gonna check the tenderness on these now. So I'm gonna pull this out and give these a little poke. I'm not really checking for temperature right now. I'm just checking to see if this slides right in. See, that's not quite ready yet. If it hangs on there, that's probe tender. Look at that. See how it just goes in? That still needs a little bit of time. Yeah, that one's not quite tender yet. So these still need maybe about 30 minutes or so. We're gonna let these continue to cook. And when we come back out, if they're nice and tender, we're going to sauce them up and get them nice and tacky. So it's time that we get these off and start to sauce them up. Pulling it out here, and I'm wearing cotton inserts underneath these gloves. You can see this is super tender. These are super tender, and we're not really checking for temperature here. If you do, they're gonna be somewhere between 205 and 215 degrees. I'm gonna get these down into the pan. And I think I'm gonna sauce up like 2/3 of them, and then leave the other 2/3 unsauced in case anybody wants them without the sauce. And you can see these are sort of falling apart already. We're just going to continue the breakdown process in the pan here. Amazing. All right. And we'll take the rest of those off here in a bit. For now, we're just going to get these sauced up. Now I made my little sauce concoction here. So to make this sauce, I melted down about 4 tablespoons of butter. I put in about 1/4 cup of brown sugar, an entire bottle of Elk Creek country style barbecue sauce, and I added in just a little bit of the Texas company's apple and cherry habanero rib glaze, whatever it's called. I forget what it's actually called. I'll show you on the screen here. And I heated that up so that the brown sugar and the butter broke down. And now we're just going to be adding a nice coat. These smell killer. And I tried the sauce. It's really nice balance. Not too spicy. It's got quite a bit of sweetness in there, but it's absolutely awesome. It yielded about 2 cups worth, I'd say. So I did use all of it. Now I'm just going to gently toss. Try not to lose these or make too much of a mess. Get all of them nice and coated. Man, that looks good. Look at the glaze on those. So all those have a nice glaze on them, except for this one. Let's get that one down in there. Man, they're falling apart already. Once they're nice and glazed up like that, I'm going to put the foil on. Always remember, when you're putting foil over something like this, you want to put the dull side downward, shiny side up. The shiny side would just end up reflecting all that heat. What I'm going to do is take off the rest of these and put that pan right where that was. A hot swap here. Look at that. All right, probably about 30 to 45 minutes on this. We'll come out and check them. We'll check the tenderness again. And I think these are going to be beautiful. Just take that foil off, let them tack up a little bit, and they're going to be done. So we just brought these in. We gave them about 45 minutes sitting in all of that delicious glaze and barbecue sauce. And if you take a look at these, they are looking amazing. They're not just fork tender, they're probe tender. I mean, these things are falling apart. I'm gonna grab one here, see if I can get it. This is just a tiny one. We're gonna see how we did. Still warm. Awesome. What a great barbecue flavor. Succulent. That fat is broken down. It's got this amazing, rich, succulent, delicious, sweet flavor to it. I mean, oh man, can't get enough. Look at this. Look at this one here. Watch me stuff this thing right in my face. Oh.
How is that?
So good. These are definitely 2 bites. Amazing flavor. Man, I could eat that all day. We're gonna serve these up with some mashed potatoes. We made some green beans to go with it. I think that mashed potato mixture is gonna be perfect for it. It'll balance out the sweetness and the super richness of this pork belly against the mashed potatoes, and the green beans are just gonna be that vegetable that sort of evens everything out. So we're gonna go put this on our plates and we're gonna go eat it. Try this out. You won't be disappointed. It's so good. This is amazing, delicious barbecue made the right way. Check it out.